Hello and welcome to what is possibly going to be a mainstay over here at the Corner Flag. This is something that we have been trying to do for a very long time, and now with our new look lineup, with Ronaq joining us as well, hopefully we can make this happen a lot more and a lot more frequent. So let me bring Ronaq on as well. Ronaq, welcome to what is the first of hopefully many FPL streams.
Yeah, I have been thinking about doing talking about FPL because we're not world beaters in FPL, but it's just fun to talk about.
I mean, you are.
And
You have won the Corner Flag Mini League last year. So you
mini
are.
leagues, yeah, that's okay. But yeah, I mean, FPL is just so much fun. It's been such a mainstay across all my friend groups in the past 10 years or something. It was just about time that we get onto it. So
Mhm.
yeah, excited for this.
It's been a fantastic few weeks for me personally. Last week, not so much. I think last week was not great. Game week 9 was not great for
Yeah.
most people around the world. It was one of
Hmm.
those fuck all game weeks where everybody's bets, whether they were differentials or mainstays, did not uh, did not go
Perform.
well. Big
Yeah.
one, of course, being Erling Haaland, 1-0 loss to Aston Villa. He didn't have any thing to go. Mo Salah, though, we are not even going to talk about. We don't take that man's name when it comes to FPL anymore.
But I mean, he
And
still did score more points than Haaland last game
that's
week. But
true. That's true. That's true. But yeah, so it has been one of those game weeks, but it is a new week is upon us. A new round of fixtures is upon us. Game week 10. Deadline is exactly when, Ronak? Tomorrow, 7 p.m., right?
it's tomorrow at 7 p.m. if I'm not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Daylight saving
tomorrow
times
at
are gaya.
7 p.m.
Tomorrow at 7 p.m. So you everybody who is going to be watching this stream, whether you're watching it live right now here with us, or if you're going to watch it aram say later whenever you have time, don't take too much time because like we said, deadline is tomorrow, which is Saturday, the 1st of November at 7 p.m. उसके पहले जो भी चेंजेस करने हैं, ट्रांसफर्स करने हैं, स्टार्टिंग 11 चेंज करना है वो कर दो। और जो भी हमारे आज के इस स्ट्रीम के जो विशेष टिप्पणियां हम देने वाले हैं उसको भी आप प्लीज इम्प्लीमेंट करो, or don't, because we will implement them and then we will have markedly different teams from you, and either you will win or we will win. So it depends entirely on that, but let's then straight get into it. While
Yes.
you kick us off with the FPL proceedings, I will change my little bio under my name because मैं अभी तक haircut के पीछे ही पड़ा हूँ.
Let's get into it. Let's start by sharing my team. Actually, let's first start with the overview of the last game week. At least of mine personally was a horrible week for me.
Hmm.
Screen में सब दिख रहा है ना बराबर?
Yes, sir.
All good? Yes. Yeah, horrible game week for me. Literally, the only performers were from my defense, and it was actually a week for defenders because even
Hmm.
Rodon scored a 13 pointer, and then Van
And
de Ven
on my
scored,
bench.
and Van de Ven scored 2 goals and a clean sheet. I think it was a 23 pointer for Van de Ven.
Hmm.
So it was a ridiculous week, uh, mainly for defenders. None of my forwards, none of my midfielders performed. I am honestly just tired of Reinders now. Like, इसको
Yeah.
निकालना ही है अभी. And मैं यार थोड़ा, if I would have moved early now, I would have removed him already.
Hmm.
So if I'll show you my current team, I went for one transfer early on. Sunday रात को ही I removed Joao Pedro and
Hmm.
got in Mateta because obviously Crystal Palace ke fixtures are very very good over the
Yeah.
next few, and
Brentford Brighton Wolves. That looks very, very attractive.
so it's just, yeah, so Brentford at home, Brighton at home, then Wolves away. So
Hmm.
it's like three really good games you kind of want Mateta, and then I think the last game only he scored a fucking hat trick. So I mean the game before the Arsenal one,
Hmm.
and we very well know that he could have gotten 4 goals in that game, and he could have slotted that winner in, and not just won the game for Crystal Palace, but would have been on like 21 points or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mateta was just like a shoe in my lineup. And Joao Pedro was so disappointing. You know, he
Very
hasn't
disappointing.
had a shot. He hasn't had a shot in the last few game weeks.
Hmm.
And क्या बोलने का भाई इसका? He's your fucking main striker and he's not even getting a shot in. And yeah, so one other move I was actually planning to do was removing Reinders for someone like Mbomo.
Hmm.
And so originally plan was wait, I'll go into my transfer thingy. Transfers wala tab is a little lost, but yeah, got it. Yeah,
Hmm.
so I was honestly thinking of removing Reinders and Caicedo
Hmm.
and getting in Mbomo and a very cheap midfielder kind of enabler. And that was actually, wait, 4.9 car. What the hell is that? Leeds. Longstaff. So this was my actual plan for game week 10,
Right.
which was getting Mbomo, Longstaff in as a midfield enabler. And you know, Longstaff is also a very decent pick just because of his price, because he gives Defcon not every week, but every so often. He's on a few set pieces. We know from his time at Newcastle that he can score, like he
Hmm.
can shoot the ball
Yeah.
if given the opportunity. So he's a decent pick, and he's mainly going to stay on my bench. So that's what I'd originally planned. And then
Right.
Embomo rose in price, became 8.2, and Reinders fell. Like the Sunday
Right.
night जब मैंने Mateta का किया,
Ah.
तो ये मूव मैंने नहीं किया, सोचा कि थोड़ा सोच लेता हूँ मैं, and
Ah.
in that 0.2 का difference आ गया, and I got priced out of it.
Oh
I literally had
shit.
exact money to do that. So now Reinders is still in, and Caicedo is also still in. I'm not too unhappy with Caicedo, but it's
It's
been
interesting.
interesting.
It's no what is interesting to me about your squad right now is the Chelsea double up with Enzo and Caicedo. You're looking at Enzo and Caicedo both to predominantly give you a lot more defcon points and the odd goal and attacking output wherever.
So,
Right.
yeah, exactly. And
A
see,
double
Caicedo
up.
has been no, Caicedo is just a bench warmer. If some team player of mine doesn't play through whatever reason, I know that Caicedo more often than not ends up with 4 points because he always gets that 2 points of DEFCON. So I know that kuch hua to I have a substitute just
Backup.
directly giving me 4 points in. And
Hmm.
also another caveat is I thought of playing my bench boost already, which I haven't done.
Oh.
And that is why I was keeping a fairly stronger lineup. Ke thoda where I could have maybe having some cheap players and maybe uh, like upgrade my defenders a bit more.
Hmm.
थोड़ा बैलेंस रखा कि मे बी ना बेंच बूस्ट सिचुएशन इट माइट वर्क आउट. एंड मेरे एक दो वीक्स थे भी यार अच्छे बेंच बूस्ट के लिए, बट इट डिडंट आई डिडंट पुल द ट्रिगर ऑन इट एंड kind of suffered. But now I'm
Yeah.
planning for game week 11. So इसीलिए Reinders and Caicedo maybe निकालूंगा to get someone like a Sar in. And
Ha.
yeah,
So
focus is on the
I mean,
bench boost.
but so let's. I want to get into it, right? Like I'm
Hmm.
looking at your team right now. You have a Newcastle double up. You have an Arsenal double up.
Yes. I have an Arsenal triple up.
You have an Arsenal triple up. Yes, you have an Arsenal triple up. You have a
Yes.
Bournemouth double up. You have a Crystal Palace double up and a Chelsea double up.
Yes.
You are really you're playing with fire here, eh? Ronak, मतलब ये तू you're really slimming the opportunities. You're not
नहीं, like I
spreading.
can individually tell you each player ka thinking. So Arsenal triple up is like a no brainer. And Raya, when I got Raya, I was contemplating should I get two defenders or maybe two attackers and just keep a Gabriel in defense. But then Arsenal is so good at defense.
Hmm.
And I got Raya at 5.6, and now
Hmm.
he's become 5.8 already.
Right.
So I have not just gotten now he's too expensive. Like I wouldn't buy him at 5.8. Like
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. So But when I got Raya, it was the best decision. He's been consistent source of points,
Hmm.
solid clean sheet points. Gabriel also solid clean sheet points, and Saka, even though he hasn't been up to the mark,
Hmm.
ये still, अरे यार player profile में कहाँ चले गए हम? Full profile, yeah.
हाँ.
He's still given just decent points, like 3 points against Crystal Palace is okay. You know, Crystal Palace is a tough game for any team. And then seven for against Fulham, eight against West Ham, two against Newcastle is fine because he just come out of an injury. Like, you know, City के साथ एक half खेला था, and then Newcastle away is also a difficult fixture.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then he's on set pieces, like on set pieces, corners, and then penalties. So
Yeah.
Between Saka and Gyökeres, that was my thinking. Whoever was on the penalties, I would keep that player in.
Right.
And I have just been lucky that I went for Saka.
Yeah.
Gyökeres has been a disappointment.
He
And
absolutely has.
I
Absolutely
think
has.
the most questionable thing about my team is the Chelsea double up. Uh,
I agree, and also the Chelsea double up with two holding midfielders predominantly. Like तेरे को
so,
अगर double up करना ही था तो
हाँ,
I mean I get your reasoning behind it, but अगर
hmm.
if Chelsea का double up करना ही था तो I would still go with a Caicedo or sorry, a Caicedo and ideally it would have been Joao Pedro. No.
Yeah, Joao
Ideally, I think
Pedro.
a lot of people would have preferred and had preferred Joao Pedro, but he is, of course, leading up to Game Week 10, one of the most transferred out players because he
Yeah,
is in 30 form. So
yeah.
it would have been like one of those,
And
right? Because
like he's
Chelsea
literally
defensive,
the most transferred out player.
yeah. Chelsea defensive assets are suicide. Like they are going to ship goals and they are probably going to get sent off as well. तो
And you
उधर
know,
देखना कोई point ही नहीं है.
talking about Chelsea's defense, I actually made this creative, and
हाँ,
so this is like the best attack and the best defense in terms of goals conceded and goals expected goals scored per 90.
right. Ronak,
So
wait, before you get into that, we had a bunch of messages saying Nathan nahi aaya and no Liverpool banter on EFL game. वो होगा, वो होगा. I think we are trying to do a preview stream tomorrow before the matches kick off. वहाँ पे वो थोड़ा banter होगा. ये stream predominantly is for FPL, which is why it's just Ronak and
yes.
me. In the future, we might only have Ronak doing FPL streams because he is the FPL brain of the Corner Flag. He is Corner Flag Mini League winner also, so he comes with proper credentials. But this is predominantly for all the FPL nerds out there, and even
Right.
those who are not FPL nerds but want to pretend that they are. Listen to us and predominantly Ronak, not us. मेरा कुछ expertise नहीं है. मैं Mo Salah and Inshallah वाला खेल खेलता हूँ. But yeah, that is the whole point of this. Yes, go on, Ronak.
Yeah, and nahi, like honestly, the point of this stream now is just to give you guys, whoever our viewers are, just information. I am
Yes.
not going to tell you to make any decision. I am just going to give you all the information that I collect just for the sake of it, for my team and for my fun, and just kind of giving it to you guys.
Yes.
It's that's about it. So,
By the way, Ronak has made this graphic at 1:30 a.m. last night. Okay? So
yeah, literally.
look at the dedication and the professionalism that has come to the corner flag.
ये एक एक लोगो मेरे को निकालना पड़ा, मजा आया, बट ठीक है.
Amazing, amazing.
So Chelsea is way down at 15th at 1.51 xg conceded every game.
Hmm.
So it's just stay away from Chelsea defense. Actually, we don't even know who's going to be starting in the Chelsea defense. So obviously,
Exactly.
like
Yeah, we don't know anything about Chelsea. I don't think Maresca knows anything about Chelsea. I don't think anybody in that club knows anything about what they're doing. And it is just very very random. So yeah, but yeah, like the Chelsea double up was an interesting one. You haven't finished making your transfers yet, right? Like you still have at least one transfer to play.
yeah. Oh, I did I cancel the screen share? Yeah. Sorry, guys. Like even I'm just kind of figuring it out. स्टॉप शेयर दबा दिया था क्या मैंने? हाँ, सॉरी सॉरी. हाँ, so where are we? ट्रांसफर वाले पेज पे आ जाते हैं. Yes, so हाँ, what was the question again, Amok?
No, I was saying that the Chelsea double up specifically.
Hmm.
See, Bournemouth double up is a no-brainer.
नहीं
Semenyo
नहीं, so
Senesi,
I'll tell you,
even though
Enzo,
it's Man City.
Enzo, I'm very happy with Enzo. Like, although he's not given me the points yet,
Hmm.
but Enzo, when Cole Palmer's not playing, plays much, much higher. And even
Yeah.
in the game against Liverpool, if you remember, he had a very clear header around 85th, 90th minute. And
Hmm.
if that would have gone him, the whole, the conversation about him would have been different.
Hmm.
And against Nottingham, he didn't play. And then Sunderland, I got him against Nottingham, hoping he would play and, give me some good points.
Yeah.
But yeah, sadly that didn't happen. But I'll just show you some other stats that I like to see. So here is ICT. This is influence, creativity, and threat.
Hmm.
Okay, so just look at the numbers for Enzo. It's like 46 and then 0 because he didn't play, and then 23. This is all for threat,
Hmm.
and these are really good numbers. And it's just purely based on numbers that I went for Enzo, and he plays so higher when Cole Palmer's not playing. And मैंने वही बोला ना कि मैंने थोड़ा सा strong midfield रखा था सोच के कि just bench boost में you can never predict points like
Yeah.
कि ये मारेगा ही bench boost में. So
Yeah.
idea was always to play it simple. bench boost में अगर मेरा कोई भी player ने कुछ like return नहीं दिया तो भी एनो काइसेडो का 4 points आएगा. Defender and the other 3-4 players will give me 2 points, and it'll kind of coast through into a 10-12 point bench boost, which is fine. उसके ऊपर एक भी return आ गया, then that's bonus.
Yeah.
So that's the thinking, and I'm thinking for game week 11. So I'll just show you all the uh key second this tab. So this is the teams ka. Hey, Amok, keep an eye on the comments. Huh? Like I am most
Yeah.
of the time
Yeah.
I end up monologuing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. So game week
That's also
11.
a plea for all the people who are watching right now. Send in your comments if you have any questions. Do ask, especially in terms of FPL. If you have any questions, do ask, and we will answer each and every one of them.
Yeah, literally. I mean, that's all we can do here.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about a game week 11 bench boost because if you just see the general players that you would have in your team, Arsenal are playing Sunderland away, and even though Sunderland have been in good form, they are way high up on the table, maybe second or third, right?
Hmm.
So yeah,
Fourth,
Sunderland
actually, I
away
think fourth.
fourth. I mean, Sunderland away is a difficult fixture now, but still for Arsenal, you do expect them to kind of win that game.
Yeah.
And then Bournemouth have Villa away. Everyone has Semenyo, Senesi in their team, so even I feel even though Villa have been fairly decent defensively, not so much attacking, and although they have won against City, but I do still back Semenyo against Villa because we've seen Semenyo scoring two past Liverpool and just been in fine scoring form across the season. So
Hmm.
I'm not gonna not back Semenyo now.
Yeah.
And then Chelsea has Wolves at home, Crystal Palace has Brighton at home. Leeds has Nottingham Forest at home. So many people have Rodon in their teams, and then Gudmundsson and Stack and players, those sorts of players who are bench warmers. And it's a good week for them because we know Nottingham Forest are really struggling for goals. Uh,
Every time you say Joe Rodon, na मेरा मतलब खून खोलता है because and this is context for you guys, all right? Before game week 9 deadline, Ronak and I were having this chat. We were discussing. I think this is after we had finished game week 9 preview stream.
yeah.
We were still on the call and we were just having a chat about FPL teams, and I had Esteve and Rodon in my team, in my squad, and I was trying to figure who I'm going to start with. Esteve was playing against Wolves. Rodon was, I think, playing against. Who was Rodon playing against?
Uh,
गेम वीक 9 में था कोई तो whatever, कोई तो था.
yeah.
तो मैंने सोचा कि मैं एस्तेवे को डालेगा अपनी स्टार्टिंग 11 में बिकॉज वुल्व्स
West
आर.
Ham.
हाँ, रोडन वाज प्लेइंग वेस्ट हैम
Uh,
एंड रौनक सेड दैट वेस्ट हैम आर ड्यू अ गोल. ये रौनक के शब्द थे. आई
yeah.
रिमेंबर दिस लाइन, सो आई पुट ऑल द ब्लेम ऑन रौनक. So,
But they did
and
score.
they did score, but so did Rodon. So I said कि देख मैं I'm going to play it a little safe. Wolves are absolute shambles. I'm going to take Esteve in because Esteve might get a goal threat also, and Wolves don't look like they're scoring. Like
Hmm.
with Mateus Cunha not in Wolves anymore, their attacking output has severely diminished, and that has impacted their league position and their performances as well. So it
Hmm.
seemed like a smart thing to do to put Esteve in over Rodon. फिर मैं मतलब गया, काम वाम खत्म किया, सब अपलोड वगैरह सब हो गया, मैं गया. I was with my daughter. My daughter was, doing things that infants do in the middle of the night. So I got busy with that, and I completely missed the deadline. Right? I missed making any, because in my head I was like, "हाँ, मैंने सब कर दिया. I have nothing to look forward to." About 10 minutes before the deadline, Ronak sends me a WhatsApp saying, actually, Leeds have been good defensively, so maybe starting Rodon is a good idea.
I
I
said
have,
keep road on.
हाँ, I have missed that message. मैं देखा ही नहीं वो message. And then I go to sleep. I wake up at 2 a.m. because my daughter was hungry. So I wake up at 2 a.m. for like the middle of the night feeding. तभी मैं phone check किया. I see Ronak's message. Keep road on or whatever. I was like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. And then there's a new message after that where he's like, told you so. And I'm like, oh fuck, what has happened? Then I see the Premier League app, and Joe Rodon has scored. He has gotten 13 points in game week 9, and he's on my bench, and everybody else has played like shit. So I've got terrible returns in game week 9, which is a difference from game week 8, where I got like some 77 points or something. It was a very good game week. With Nordi Mukiele getting me a lot of points as well. Look at that shit. Look at that. 13 points just languishing on my bench.
And
I'm
you will
going to,
fucking
yeah,
maintain
yeah.
with 5.
I'm going to ignore Yankuba Minte with 5 points on my bench because Manchester United still won that game 4-2. So the
Yeah.
greater good was achieved. But look at what is this shambolic performance. Erling Haaland captain 4 points. जो तो सबको मिला होगा. Semenyo didn't do anything. The Everton double up did not
And
work.
I wasn't expecting Vicario to come out with a clean sheet, but yeah.
Spurs goalkeeper Vicario was the only one who kept me alive. 31 total points with an average of 46. It is embarrassing. Embarrassing showing. Look at all the red arrows on the left. Look at all my leagues just laughing at me. Crash.
It's too early, yaar. It's okay. You have to look at the total position also, but it's too early. We can still cover up. And last week was a bad week, yeah.
By the way, if you see highest points 124, some Laudu had triple captain Joe Rodon, by the way.
Oh, really? What the
Just check,
fuck?
check. Go to highest points.
Wait, where is that?
124 highest points पे क्लिक कर.
किधर है मेरे को? अच्छा
अरे
ये रहा,
इधर,
sorry.
हाँ
हाँ.
हाँ, देखा ट्रिपल कैप्टन. किसको ट्रिपल कैप्टन किया
Embomo,
था?
triple captain
एम्बोमो.
Embomo.
एम्बोमो
But
को
he
ट्रिपल
had
कैप्टन.
Tavernier, Shabozlai, Rice, Van der Ven with 23,
क्या
Gabriel with
मतलब?
9. ये तो कुछ भी squad है हरामी.
Oh God, amazing.
Like just this 45 and 23 alone, like
This is
45.
next
हमारी
level
टीम
stuff.
से ज्यादा एक प्लेयर ने दे
हाँ,
दिया ट्रिपल
हाँ.
कैप्टन ने.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Ishan has a question. Is Sar a good option to have in the team since Salah is not doing shit? We were just talking about this, Ronak. And we
Yes,
were talking
so-
about this in respect to your one free transfer that you have, that you are about to make.
So,
Are you going to
know,
get Ismaila Sar in your squad?
Ismaila Sarr, like I'm just so indecisive ना. Like मैंने बोला जैसे राइंडर्स का हुआ, एम्बोमो का हुआ, प्राइस बढ़ गया, राइंडर्स का प्राइस गिर गया, सार का भी कल रात को प्राइस बढ़ा हुआ था एंड मेरे को पता था उसका प्राइस बढ़ने वाला है एंड मैंने नहीं किया प्राइस. मैं बोला कि ठीक है, स्टिल वेट फॉर द प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस बिकॉज यू जस्ट वांट to get as much information and maybe roll the transfer. But Sarr is an amazing pick. He's an amazing pick for the upcoming game weeks. I'll just show you another the same thing that I had made. Crystal Palace are literally highest for expected goals per 90. And I know a lot of it has to do with the Bournemouth game because they were literally on fire. They scored 3 goals. They could have scored 5. But that has been the case for a lot of games. Like if you remember the Liverpool game, we were saying Liverpool got away with it. Yeah. Even when they lost 2-1, 90th minute, whatever, they still got away with it because it could have been 4-0, 3-0, whatever. It could have been that in the first half. And Palace have really been that good. So Sarr is definitely a brilliant pick. And one thing you all have to remember is Sarr is a player very much like Mbomo who will be going to AFCON. And so I'll just give you all the list of players. So see, Sarr is going to be going to AFCON. This will be around game week 16. So even if you get him this week, you still have, from game week 10 to 15, 16. good 5, 6, 7 game weeks you have in 6 game weeks you have in play, and he's a brilliant pick. Like, we can even have a look at his fixtures. I think we already did. Now we saw Mateta's fixtures,
Hmm.
and yeah, it just looks really good at the moment. And
Yeah.
even I also have Chris Richards in my defense, because even Palace have been so good defensively, and they've kept the clean sheets. So
Yeah.
yeah, they have the fixtures. Like, if you're looking for Sar till game week 16, which is the City game, which is ideally when you'd want to sell him, right? Because
Yeah.
City at home and then Spurs at home. Fulham is also a little bit of a tricky fixture. Fulham away is the tricky fixture which he has, but otherwise it's such a good run of fixtures from Brentford at home, Brighton at home, Wolves away, which you really want Sar and Mateta or Munoz, whoever you want, all Palace players for this particular game. United, I don't know. I can't say it's going to be an easy game for Sar, but just the form that Palace have been in, yeah,
You can't
you
discount
can't
it.
really you can't discount it. And then Burnley away, and then Fulham away. So really, really good run of fixtures,
Yeah.
and
So, I mean, basically, to answer Ishan's question, now is the right time to get Sar in. Sar is
100%.
in the middle of every Crystal Palace attack. Yes, John Philippe Mateta is at the end of most of the goal scoring chances. He is the one who is the focal point of the attack. But let's not forget the fact that what was once Eberechi Eze's role at Crystal Palace, and Palace have always been the team that rely on that one creative midfielder who is the focal point of their attacks, and then have a striker like a Mateta who will put those chances away. Now that
Right.
Eze has moved to Arsenal, that responsibility has fallen squarely on Ismail Assar, and Ismail Assar is doing brilliantly with it. He has not shirked away from that responsibility. He is in and around all of the Crystal Palace attacks. Between Mateta and Sar, a Crystal Palace double up, you are sorted in terms of attacking output. If you
And
have the money,
like,
and if you're being very very enthusiastic about it, a triple up with Munoz also can be attractive. But I wouldn't recommend a triple up anyway.
I mean, see, there's such few well-functioning teams that you just end up looking at good teams overall to kind of put your bets on, and of
Hmm.
course with the fixtures in. So, if like for Crystal Palace, for Sar particularly, if you're looking even in the last 4 game weeks, where he's played Arsenal away, Bournemouth at home, Everton away, and Liverpool at home,
Hmm.
none of which are easy fixtures. He's
Yeah.
still gotten a goal and an assist for it.
Yeah.
So it's he's just doing really well. And then of course in midweek he scored, I think, the previous midweek, not this midweek against Liverpool, but uske pehle also he scored two,
Yeah.
not in the Premier League. So Sar is definitely a shoe in.
Interesting question from Gaurav coming in. Will it be okay to transfer out Reinders and transfer in Mbumo? Which is, again, another topic that we were discussing specifically for your team, Ronak. You were looking at taking
Yes.
Reinders out. You were regretting the fact that you didn't take Reinders out sooner. Uh,
100%. So I was actually literally doing that, getting Reinders out for Mbomo, and then getting a cheap midfielder in for Caicedo just to kind of enable this. And I got priced out of the move just because last Sunday night Mbomo rose and Reinders fell. So I
hmm,
got priced out of the move. But Mbomo has been a solid pick for United, and for all FPL players who have Mbomo, because he's so far up, he's the most nailed on player in the team. Like apart from Lamens now and Bruno,
yeah,
Mbomo is going to be in the team.
yeah,
You can't say the same for Sesko, can't say the same for Cunha, Mount, Ahmad, none of those.
yeah,
And Mbomo is just focal, man. And he's so far up on the pitch. He's just always in and around the D. He's a
yeah,
brilliant pick. And again,
yeah,
like Ismail Assar, Mbomo is also going to be going to the African Cup of Nations, which will be around game week 16 or 17. But Mbomo is still a brilliant pick up until then. We can just have a look at his fixtures also. And yeah, I know United are having decent run of fixtures over the next few games. So
yeah,
yeah, just look at it. Like, you want him this week itself.
yeah,
Nottingham Forest have been very, very bad. They've not been able to, you know, defend well or attack for that matter. And Brian Mbeumo is the midfielder, so he will get you that one extra point as a if United
as a
keep a clean
midfield
sheet
asset.
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Uh,
definitely.
Follow-up question, and we'll talk a little bit more about Manchester United's fixtures and the spotlight on Man United assets. because they do look very, very tempting and very, very attractive right now. But another question, follow up question from Gaurav is that should we look into Fulham assets considering their upcoming fixtures? While Ronak pulls up Fulham's upcoming fixtures, one thing that I would like to say on this specific thing is I have always been a fan of Fulham assets, right? Like, I don't know if you have paid attention to my FPL teams from the start of this season or even last season. I like to have a Fulham midfielder in there. I've had Andreas in my FPL team for the last couple of seasons, and he has given me decent returns. He was never, and especially towards the end of his Fulham career, it wasn't really great, but he had a purple patch. So Andreas was a
Hmm.
great asset.
Yeah.
Uh, Even Alex Iwobi has been a lovely asset for me. Adama, to a certain extent, I have used on and off whenever I
Hmm.
felt like he could, change some games. But the
Yeah. And
problem right now, no, is the problem right now is Fulham don't look like a team that are going anywhere. They don't look like a team that are going to give you stable results. Like there are teams,
yeah.
like for example, there's a team like Wolves where you know they are fucked, and you would want to stay far away from those assets unless you're very, very, you're a big adrenaline junkie and you're like, मैं तो differential का बाप बनेगा, and you get Jorgen Strand Larsen and on one off against Leeds he scores those goals and he gets you some returns when nobody else has him in their team. If you are one of those people, then yes. But Fulham are not
No,
that.
but
You don't know what to expect from Fulham. And even if you are going to expect victories and attacking returns, let's say from them, you don't know from where those are going to come from. I feel like Marco Silva has also taken Fulham to their ceiling right now. There are
no. So
talks of Marco Silva
when
leaving next season because the
yeah,
the recruitment at Fulham has not been great. So
yeah,
I would personally avoid Fulham as of now because I just
yeah.
don't know enough about what they are doing and what their strengths and weaknesses are.
Correct. So if I could just even like I'm a little we need to even get to the fixtures because the fixtures aren't that good apart from this current game week 10 fixture which is Wolves at home, just because Wolves have been that bad. But uske aage dekho, it's Everton away. A match at Goodison is not easy. Everton have been in good
Hill
form.
Dickinson Stadium now, not Goodison anymore. No?
Yeah, yeah, sorry, my
But
bad.
Goodison is always in our hearts. Love you,
Yeah.
Akarsh.
And then Sunderland, we all know how Sunderland have been this season. So Sunderland at home is definitely not an easy fixture. Sunderland, if anything, they've been robust. They've shown that they can defend well and strike back on the counter.
Yeah,
So yeah, and then I think those are the only easy fixtures, and because then it goes to Spurs away, City at home, and then Palace at home. All three of those are very difficult fixtures for a Fulham. And the only reason I had Joachim Anderson before he got injured was he would really give a lot of DEFCON points. So if you just have a look at his points before, of course, the Arsenal and Bournemouth games was always 3, 4, 10, 3, 4, 2. So the DEFCON points were always in there. So that was the sole reason he was there. And Fulham, the start of the season, were doing decently well
mm,
defensively. But
yeah,
now I am looking at removing Anderson for someone like a cheaper guy like a Rodon or an Audi Mukiele, who just seem like Mukiele just seems like a good pick. Yeah, like in defenders now I'm really focusing on the DEFCON points. Where are the DC points here? Yeah, so for a defender needs to clock in 10 to get the additional 2, and a midfielder needs to clock in 12 defensive contributions to get the 2 points. So if you just look at Mukiele's at 4.1, he's given you defcon in 1, 2, 3, 4 matches, and that's perfect.
yeah,
You don't want anything more, and apart from that he's also scored a goal, and so yeah, you just kind of want him in your team now.
yeah, yeah. He was a differential punt that I made in game week 8, and he got me 17 points, which I was very, very happy with. So
Yeah.
yes, Roddy Mukiele is an option. Although Sunderland's run of fixtures now are a little tricky, even though they are
I'm
flying
just
high
like
right now.
as a
Thoda tricky
defensive
hai.
enabler,
As a
and
defensive
uske
enabler, he's a great
and
option
apart
because
from that, the defenses that you should be really looking at are the ones that I'm going to show on the screen now, which is Arsenal, where of course you need to have at least two Arsenal defenders, like in a goalkeeper and a defender, or you go with Gabriel and Timber, or you go with Gabriel and Calafiori, or you go with Gabriel and Raya. I think Gabriel is a very, very permanent Arsenal defender I would keep. And then Newcastle also so good defensively. Someone like Malik Thiaw or whatever his name is, and or even Dan Burn. I have Dan Burn in my team, who is actually expected to rise in price tonight.
Hmm.
So I can
Get those
actually
transfers in.
yeah, I can show you all this screen. So this is the price risers, like predicted price risers, and it's Saka and Burn from Newcastle, and they are likely to rise in price. Burn will become 5.2, Saka will become 10.1. This will happen tonight, and yeah, I think these are the defenses you all should be looking at. Arsenal, Newcastle, City. I mean, not so much because City defense kind of keeps rotating and they're expensive, so you can move away from City defenders, but. Uh, some even like a United defense, I wouldn't mind. Like I think someone like Delict is priced well, and Leeds are a very very resilient defense, surprisingly enough. But
Hmm.
Leeds have been very good defensively, and of course, like, I mean, getting Rodon is also so easy. It's 4.1, and it helps you to even enable other you know
Defensive
facets of your
purchases.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and then
let's go now to the United assets, right? Because
hmm,
United have done the unthinkable and won three games in a row.
yeah,
We never thought this day would come, but it has.
hmm,
And like we already touched upon Brian Mbumo, and we know what form Brian Mbumo is in.
hmm,
Is this the right time to now get Man United assets in your team? And again, I am, as a United fan, I'm superstitious about having United assets. I have had my
yeah.
hands burnt with Bruno and De Gea in my teams in the past, where as soon as I have brought them in, they have been terrible. As soon as I've taken them out, they've been great. तो मैं avoid करता हूँ unless it is absolutely necessary to have a United asset in there. I try and avoid it because of superstitious reasons. But if you are not superstitious as a United fan, if you are one, is this the right time to bring in
It
some United assets?
it definitely is the right time if you are looking to get United assets in. And I think the only two places you should be looking at, apart from the defense, because defense is uh, a little bit of a gamble, but yeah, Bruno Fernandes and Brian Mbomo. And I would honestly go for Brian Mbomo just because he has that explosive, that a higher ceiling in a particular game week. He can, score 2 goals just like he did in the last game week. But Bruno is an interesting pick because he gives you so much in defensive contribution points. I mean, just look at this 15. So he got 2 here. And, this is a narrow miss against Brentford away, but one more defensive contribution and he would gotten 2 points, and then 8 here, 5, and then 17, 13, 11. So Bruno, even on a bad day, he can give you defcon, and especially the difficult games, that is where he'll give you the defcon. And of course, Bruno is so good creatively. He can pop in with those goals, he can pop in with those assists. We all know what he is capable of.
Hmm.
uh, but just because of the price point, Brian Mbomo is the United asset you should be looking at, and that's a no-brainer. Obviously, he does go for the AFCON, which would be around game week 16, 17. But I mean, just look at it: 2 goals, 1 goal, 1 assist. Blank against Brentford, which was the horrible game that we had. We all
Yeah.
remember that game. And then against Chelsea, he was subbed off, but he had a good game in that, if you remember. And
Yeah.
in the start of the season, even United were just kind of finding their form, and he kind of slotted in goals in the in other competitions, and scored one against Burnley. But now is the time where he's really picking up the pace, and he's finding himself in really interesting positions. And this is the right time to get him. Nottingham Forest away, Tottenham away, and this is a very difficult fixture because Tottenham have been fairly decent defensively. But I expect United to get that fifth win because this is going to be that fixture.
Yeah. And it's amazing how one United fan has gone viral and gotten the attention of the club itself,
Yeah.
and that Spurs fixture is going to be so electric because
Yeah.
it's the Europa League final rematch, so there's going to be
Hmm.
some scores that need to be settled there within the United team. They will want to prove themselves, so
Hmm.
that's one narrative that will play out. And the second
Right.
narrative is the fact that, and this is of course considering that United get a victory at Nottingham Forest as well. But the second narrative will be that win against Spurs and भाई बाल कटवा सकता है. Like it will be a big thing, and the club will make it a big thing because club also loves social media likes and engagement.
100%.
So I remember the times of Roy Keane where they were like, ah, Al Finger Haaland ने मेरे को ये किया, तो I'm going to go back and give him a bloody nose. Like that was the motivation. Alex Ferguson saying that in the Aguero season when we defeated Sunderland and then lost the title to goal difference, and the Sunderland fans were singing. Ferguson's thing was, we are going to come back here and relegate you. That was the motivation. अभी motivation है कि यार social media influencer को बाल कटवाने हैं. But whatever it takes, guys, whatever it takes to get the victories in, let's do it. And yeah, maybe this is the right time to get United fixtures in. Lovely.
Yeah.
Can we you want to just switch over to my squad right now? I want to review my squad a little bit before we wrap up this stream for today. uh, like I said, game week 9 was absolutely atrocious for me. Fucking 36 or something points with an average of 43. So I was below average, 31 points with an
Yeah.
average of 46. And I was below fucking average. Like you can see here, terrible, terrible stuff. I'm going to, one second. I'm going to try and get my transfer screen
Page.
in as well.
Yeah.
तो मेरे को ही शेयर करना पड़ेगा, मेरे को साइन इन
हाँ,
करना पड़ेगा पहले. तो
वो
give
कर
us
लो,
a
तब तक मैं
minute.
तेरा टीम देखता हूँ. India and Grealish. But I think Everton are turning their fixtures a bit, not too much actually.
The thing is, no, now I am really considering the Everton double up now. I'm really reconsidering it because, and again, it's recency bias because Jack Grealish did not have a good day at the office in his last fixture, even
Hmm.
though he has started his life as an Evertonian really really well.
Hmm.
Can I switch over to my screen?
Yeah, I'll just stop here.
एक मिनट, एक मिनट, मैं किधर गया मेरा स्क्रीन? चलो. So this is my transfer screen right now. uh, I am in a bit of a
Hmm.
pickle, right? So one thing, the good thing is I have a 4.9 transfer budget to spend, and I have 3 free
Nice.
transfers. So I
Nice.
can make some really really good and effective changes over here.
Hmm.
I am going to play Rodon in my starting 11. I have
Yeah.
had my fingers burnt, तो वो होगा. But my big concern now here is the Bournemouth double up, especially because Manchester City away is going to be a tough fixture for them. And my other concern is the Everton double up. That's the second concern. I think I want to drop NDI, or maybe I should drop Grealish because he is 0.2 million
Yeah. You
more
should be
expensive.
dropping Grealish. Yeah.
Yeah. And the third concern, of course, is Joao Pedro. Of course, Joao Pedro is the most transferred out player this game week, second only to Tijani Reinders. So, again, going back to Gaura's question about should we
Hmm.
take Renders out and get Mbumo in? Yes to both.
Yeah.
Even if you
Yeah.
can't get Mbumo in, get Renders out and get somebody else that you can afford in who provides you better value and better prospective returns. Renders, of course, second most transferred player out. So there are 3 concerns, and I have 3 free transfers. So I am, in a way, it's not panic mode just yet. There
Hmm.
is a way for me to salvage this.
Correct.
Uh, but I
So I'll
don't know.
just tell you a bit of what I think. If you can just scroll up a little so I can have a full view of the team.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Senesi, you have to keep in your team, but you can bench him this game week.
Yeah.
Estevez, Arsenal at home. So,
Again, bench.
yeah, has to be
Bench.
on your bench.
I
And that
play a
leaves you with,
3-4-3.
yeah, that leaves you
Munoz,
with the
Rodon,
three
Mukiele.
defenders, which is perfect,
Yeah. Yeah.
Semenyo, you can't be benching him. And now this is where the rest of the 4 that you have in midfield is a bit of a concern, where someone like a Kudus is also expected to drop in price. So you also might consider taking him out because you don't want to lose value on
Hmm.
a player. And then Joao Pedro has already dropped in price this week, so you should have ideally taken him out for someone like Mateta, someone like a Thiago
Hmm.
from
Brentford.
Brentford. Yeah. So I mean, he's a cheap option, and then even someone like a Welbeck, a Danny Welbeck, who's been playing 90 minutes every game,
Hmm.
who's priced very cheap at 6.4,
Hmm.
can be a good shout as well. So those are the players I think you should be looking at. And in terms of Grealish and NDI, I would take out Grealish because obviously he's first of all 2.2 more expensive, and also NDI is on penalties. So you just, it's a general rule that if you
Yeah,
have
a penalty
a
taker in your squad, you
choice,
should. Yeah,
yeah, you just kind of bet on the penalty taker.
yeah,
uh, so yeah, and India has been like, if you look at any Everton games, India always passes the eye test. Like, he's always involved, he's always trying to make something out of it. So if you have him, you just have to kind of keep him for now,
yeah,
and then you can kind of think of getting in other options. Someone like, I would also say you should maybe even look at getting Bukayo Saka in. Someone like an Embomo you can get right now because you have the money in the bank.
yeah.
So yeah, let's you can actually start right now. So just try playing around with it a bit. We can see what kind of works.
See,
If you kind
I
of
feel I feel then, because see, I have no Arsenal defenders, even though Arsenal
hmm,
are right up there in terms of defensive XG.
yeah.
So that is a little bit of a red flag, but I'm willing to pass on it because with Munoz, Rodon, and Mukele in my starting lineup for Game Week 10, I think I'm still kind of sorted in defense. I would,
Hmm.
like, yeah, I would take Joao Pedro out, I would take Mohamed Kudus out, and I would take Jack Grealish out, right?
Hmm.
सो
Yeah.
अभी मिडफील्ड में अगर मेरे को लाना है तो चलो एम्बूमो को लाते हैं.
Embomo is definitely a good pick.
Okay, Embumo
Yeah.
comes in here. Second midfielder, actually we'll do forward first.
Yeah.
Uh,
Someone like a Mateta is good. Even
yeah.
honestly, even Sesko is a decent shot, but it's a gamble just
Is
because of
no
the
no
minutes.
Sesko I don't want to go here. Sesko is a big gamble. I don't want to take that chance. Uh,
Mateta is the guy. You should be looking at Mateta or Thiago.
One sec. Let's see in terms of
सामने ही
form.
है.
नहीं
अच्छा.
नहीं, मैं मेरे को फॉर्म देखना है.
Right.
अगर फॉर्म
Right
देखा जाए,
form.
फॉर्म देखा जाए तो यस, मटेटा इज राइट अप देयर विद 7.0 फॉर्म रेटिंग.
Hmm.
डैनी वेलबेक significantly cheaper at 6.7.
Correct.
And then after that, it's with Fleming, big gamble. Krupi
Yeah.
Jr. again, big gamble. Igor
Honestly,
Thiago.
Krupi Jr. is a very decent gamble. I took him in my FPL draft, which is a different thing,
Hmm.
but he plays really good. Like, did you see his last goal in Game Week
Yeah,
9? It was a banger from 30 yards out. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a very good sign for a young kid. So
yeah.
I'm excited by Krupi Jr.
Okay, so then yeah, I think my absolute options are Mateta, Welbeck, and Igor
Mateta.
Thiago. But
I
it
think
has
you
to
should
be
be going for
Mateta.
Mateta.
It has to be Mateta. Uh, there we go, Mateta. And now for that last midfielder, I have 9.8.
Yeah. So see, you can't get
9.8.
Saka in. Um, Let me see what the situation is for Crystal
See,
Palace.
I can get a Eberechi Eze.
So now one more thing I'd like to tell you. In Game Week 16, we'll all be getting 5 free transfers.
Hmm.
So no matter how many ever transfers you have, you'll just be getting 5 transfers for the AFCON players to kind of settle your team in.
Hmm.
So right now, just having a look at your team, I think there's only Iliman NDI, and is there someone
Now
else?
Mbumo.
And now Embomo, yeah,
Yeah,
India and Embomo, who are both going to be, heading towards the Afcon. And then if you end up going for someone like a Sar,
yeah,
because you might not want to do the triple up on Allison, just perfectly fine. But if you do, then that is something you have to consider. That even Sar come Game Week 16 will be heading to the Afcon.
yeah. Where
Yeah.
is I don't see Ismail Assar only anywhere. क्यों नहीं
Uh,
दिख रहा मेरे को? That's so
ऊपर
weird.
सर्च बार में डाल देना
Ah, there.
straight up.
6.6. Form is a little bit low, so I'm not entirely sure. Although
But
form is
that's
not
also
the only thing
because
that you can go on.
no, that's also because he played Bournemouth and Arsenal in the last two. So
Hmm.
form dip is understandable.
Understandable, correct. So the question is it Eberechi Eze or is it Ismail Assar? The big question here is, because again, like, I'm a big fan of Eze as a player. I think he's a smashing player. I think his goal in that last game against Crystal Palace was a beauty. It was
Hmm.
an absolute beauty. It was perfect technique and all of that, and very
Right.
poetic that he would score against his
Former club.
former club.
Right.
But Eze is not a nailed on starter. Of
Exactly.
course, now that Odegaard is injured, he is getting a few more minutes, but
But he still
still,
did get subbed off early.
yeah, he is not a nailed on starter. He's not nailed on for 90 minutes, whereas Ismail Assar is.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, Ismail Assar,
Yeah.
Crystal Palace
And
triple up करूँ
honestly,
क्या?
no, and honestly, like, I would also be looking at Arsenal, yeah, for you. And
Hmm.
like, because you have rolled for 3 weeks, you've
Yeah,
gotten three free transfers. I wouldn't even like, if I were you, I would have probably taken the -4 and kind of really sorted the team out.
for the last
Uh,
for game week 9.
no, like for
For
game week 10,
oh,
coming
okay.
game week,
Ah,
uh, where you can probably move from uh, maybe like an S. You can upgrade Esteve to someone like Gabriel if you have the money. Instead of Eze, even you have someone like a Rice that you can look at. He's on a lot of set pieces. Arsenal rely heavily on set pieces,
hmm,
and he gets defcon points as well time and again, so even Rice is a decent shout at the price. And I would also nudge you towards Enzo, because I think Enzo will give me the points.
right.
Enzo is a good shout for the midfield. He's 6.7. He's not too expensive, and he plays as a 10 for Chelsea, and he has that knack to kind of get into the box,
Hmm,
and he comes in at those crosses at the far post, and just kind of taps them in. So I think Enzo will get points in the next 2-3 game weeks, good points that too. I'm
hmm.
just hoping for it. But yeah,
I think I'm
that
going to
is,
make these transfers. I think I'm quite happy with Eze. He's playing Burnley away. Should be an easy
yeah,
fixture for him. Anyway,
yeah.
I will put Esteve on my bench, so I'm not going to be starting with him. So it won't be a conflict of interest.
Hmm.
I think Eze is the right way to go. I am committing to this bit. I am making the transfers right now,
Oh,
and
heavy. No, no, no.
it
Don't
is.
do it right now. You have to wait till conferences.
We have to
you
wait till.
you should. If you waited up until now, only do the transfers. Maybe tonight, do the Kudus transfer, because I'm telling you he's gonna fall in price.
Ah,
But apart from that, try to delay the transfers as much as you can. I know
yeah.
you are busy, so if you can't delay, तेरे को पता है बाद में busy हो जाएगा तो फिर
हाँ
कर देना time पे.
हाँ,
But
वो है मेरा
I
मेरा
like to
मेरा
wait till
कंसर्न
the
वही है.
end.
मेरा
I like to
कंसर्न
wait till
वही
the
है.
end if there's any team news that I get, if there's any late injuries that I can, circumvent, because transfers, तूने भी 3 हफ्ता रोल किया तब जाके तेरे पास 3 transfer आए, like
Correct,
you don't want to waste a transfer.
correct,
So it should be well thought out, and
correct.
let the press conferences kind of be done, see what the managers have to say, and then we'll
Right,
take it forward from there.
right. All right. Before we wrap up, if anybody has any final questions or anything, please do ask, and we'll answer them very, very quickly. But in spite of that, before we wrap up, one final thing I want to talk about is captain picks. Obviously, the most
Yeah,
important captain pick is Erling Haaland. Has always been Erling Haaland, even though last game
yeah.
week was not a good attacking return for Erling Haaland. We still believe in Erling Haaland as captain.
Of course, it has to be Haaland only. And although it is against Bournemouth, it's not the most easiest game, I would say. But apart from Haaland, who are the other potential captaincy options? We can give our viewers sort of a choice. So
Hmm.
apart from Haaland, who's a no-brainer, half the world will have Haaland. You can go for someone like a Mateta or a Sar if you want to gamble. But Mateta is a really good shout. They have
Yeah.
Brentford at home. Brentford, even though they scored three past Liverpool, they also did concede two, and they don't have the best of defenses. So you can expect goals in that game. Even Voltemade is a decent shout, because West Ham have really shipped the goals.
Hmm.
On my West Ham are down at 19th for expected goals conceded at 1.69.
Hmm.
Only Burnley have a worse XGC. So even Voltemade is a very good shout for captaincy, or if not captaincy, at least a transfer in this week. Because West Ham and Newcastle's fixtures are very good.
Yeah.
And apart from that, I think Mbomo. Embomo is a very, very good shout. Nottingham Forest have not looked good. Sean Dyche they'll be without Chris Wood, so they're not going to have that attacking threat
Hmm.
to kind of attack United. So I think it's going to be one-way pressure, and I don't see them holding out United for way too long. But let's see, let's see. because United do suck against low block teams. But let's see how it goes for us. But
Right.
yeah, those are my captaincy picks. And also, sorry, even someone like a Gyökeres or Saka, because Arsenal are playing against Burnley. That is a good fixture for Arsenal. I would honestly put it on Saka more than Gyökeres, because Gyökeres hasn't scored in the last 5 game weeks, and
Yeah.
at some point
He's
you
not.
just kind of
He's
have
not.
to,
Yeah. He's not. He's not
you
the best. Yeah.
you can't, like, he might as well score 2 this game week. I can't say that I'll be surprised, but with your captaincy you don't really want to gamble,
Yeah.
because captaincy is make or break. You can have the best team ahead, and if someone has Haaland has scored 2 goals and you haven't captained him, in your overall rank everything takes a hit.
Absolutely. Right. On that note, it is time to wrap up. Hopefully, we answered all your queries and we gave you some interesting insights and tips as to how you can save your FPL teams. We'll be doing a lot more of these as the game weeks roll by and as time permits, but we want to try and make as much time as we can for this. So, thank you everybody for watching this right now. Whoever joined in on the live stream, thank you so much for joining in. If you haven't joined in on the live stream, you can watch this whenever you want at your convenience. Just watch it before 7 p.m. tomorrow, because otherwise then it is pointless. Then you might as well wait for Game Week 11 ka FPL stream, which we will do when Game Week 11 rolls about. And as always, you can follow us on our social media. We love hearing from you, so reach out to us on our Instagram. Ronak is on Instagram at,
At Ronaq Becomes,
and I'm on Instagram at Amogh. Send us a message. We'll reply to each and every one of them, unless it is a spam message, in which case, fuck you, spammer. Uh, you can also follow the Corner Flag on Instagram at Corner Flag Pod. Hit the subscribe button over here on the YouTube channel if you haven't yet. If you have, then tell your friends to hit that subscribe button. More subscribers for us means more content for you. So it is a barter deal, everybody. Help us help you. Shout out to Kazat Gurda for our theme tune as always. And until next time, it is goodbye from us. So say bye, Ronak.
Bye bye, guys.
And it's bye from me.